Hey y'all, it's your girl, Attorney Simone with Girl, Is That Legal? And your legal bestie. So come on in. We've got to talk about this bail hearing. Hold on. There we go. Hit that like button as you come on in here. We have to talk about this bail hearing. It is continuing to go on. I was trying to wait for it to be completely done. But the reason this video at this point is titled No Bail is because in a shocking twist, we learned today that the prosecutors are going for no bail for Diddy. Let me put on my other earring. And we learned why. So what I have and what I'm going to share with you today, we're going to go through the documents, both from the prosecutor's office, outlining some of the heinousness and why it is they don't want bail, as well as from his attorneys saying, no, Your Honor, he's a good man. This is a mistake. He's innocent. Let him go. Give him free. So the question is he getting bail right now? They're arguing it right now in real time as we speak. So I was waiting for that to be over. It's not looking good. It is not looking good. I'm going to give, and it is in the obstacle that they're facing, y'all, is exactly what I said yesterday. Remember yesterday, I told you guys about the cuckoo crazy man in Michigan who got the $100 million default against Diddy, and how in that court hearing, part of it was that with that 100 million default, Diddy cannot sell any of his property. And that hearing was yesterday. They were hoping to have that lifted. So let's put your prediction down below. Put your prediction down below. Do you think bail or no bail? Yesterday in the hearing, Diddy's lawyers, the same lawyer that he has for this, was frantic. Okay, he was frantic. He was like, "But Your Honor, but Your Honor, we need the injunction lifted." Well, it was exactly what I said, which is that without the injunction lifted, and the injunction was not lifted, they have a new hearing tomorrow on the injunction. But without the injunction lifted, that means he cannot use his property as collateral. Well, baby, that's what the prosecutor is arguing right now as we speak in the documents and otherwise. The prosecutor has said, we don't care that you are putting up your $50 million home as collateral, because that's not good enough. Because at this point, that $50 million home is an item that you can't do anything with because it's part of the temporary restraining order for the $100 million default judgment from the cuckoo man. Just what I said, y'all. So here we go. Hold on. I want to bring you to, these are the live tweets. I'm loving it from Inner City Press. Let me share the screen. Jay Simmons said, Diddy's attorney is getting paid. He absolutely is. He absolutely is. All right. So this guy has been on it all day today. So Inner City Press. So guys, I have the court documents, but Inner City Press is in the courtroom. He is live tweeting right now. So literally we're getting the updates as we speak. I was a little bit late because I was waiting to see if there was a formal conclusion. Let me tell you what he has shared, because usually I want to see the documents for myself, but I trust Inner City Press in this instance because he's sitting there in the courtroom and he's literally tweeting to us the arguments. Somebody said, I'm live from outside of Diddy's cell. I am. I'm in his cell right now. Right, guys? See, guys? I'm in Diddy's cell, live from the cell block, whatever. All right. This is one of the things I wanted you guys to see. I'm going to scroll down to it. So basically, these are the judge. It's the judge and the victim. I'm sorry, the judge and the assistant U.S. attorney, as well as Diddy's attorneys, going back and forth. Now, we know that he pled not guilty today. But I want to scroll down and show you some of the interesting allegations. So the large gist of the reason that the assistant U.S. attorneys are saying no bail is because Diddy, has been tampering with witnesses, trying to get them to change their stories, as well as we already saw how he was making evidence disappear back since 2016 in the Cassie case. So they are using these things as some of the examples. I'm also going to show you what Diddy and his legal team have said he's willing to put up as collateral. But one of the most interesting accusations that I saw that the assistant U.S. attorney argued today is that one, that Diddy's lying. We can't believe Diddy. He says here in this tweet, the video disappeared from the hotel server. It's not a coincidence. The cover-up continued for another 7 years, talking about the Cassie Hotel incident. And states there was a civil suit in November that detailed this incident, and the defendant denied it, calling it lies. Fast forward to the video being publicized, it was only then that the defendant involved his participation in this. Wait a minute, y'all, this is the kicker. I wanted to show you with my own eyes from the courtroom. He also states before a September 7th, 14th statement from Ms. Harper. Remember, Kalina Harper was listed in Dawn Richards' petition. Kalina Harper, I'm going to take this down for a second. She was listed in Dawn's petition as someone who witnessed much of this violence against Cassie in the antics of Diddy. Well, the U.S. attorney stated that one of the reasons Diddy shouldn't be given bail is because he knew that Miss Harper, Kalina Harper, was going to be giving a statement to the police. He states before her September 14th statement, the defendant called her 54 times in one day. It says some of the way in which the defendant contacts witnesses and victims are meant to evade. He uses intermediaries. 54 times. We just talked about that. And if you saw on social media, Miss Kalina actually recently made a statement that said she doesn't know anything about these violence accusations that Dawn Richards made. Oh, she doesn't know anything about it. Really? Well, if you didn't know anything about it, why did he feel the need to call you 54 times before you gave your statement, to federal officers? That, ladies and gentlemen, is what it looks like when someone's tampering with witness. And it doesn't matter whether he did it or whether he sent one of his surrogates to do it. That now it's no surprise, right? Why Miss Thing says she don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. I bet you don't, sweetie. I bet you don't. These kinds of and these are recent. So basically what the US attorneys are saying is they're not limited to what he did in 2016, right? But they're also saying do not dismiss what he did in 2016, getting rid of that tape. Because to this day, he lied and said none of that stuff happened. He didn't do anything to that girl. La, 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 la. It wasn't until the tape came out that he said that. Danny said, I knew he got to Kalina. And that's why she's playing dumb now about the whole situation. Also, an interesting argument. See, R. Kelly, he actually received bail. He got $1 million bail at one point. And so my expectation is that Diddy could be given something similar. Now, the U.S. attorney states here, I'm going to put it on the screen, R. Kelly was detained. Jeffrey Epstein was detained on conduct going much further. Keith Raniere was detained on all three grounds. And even though the violence committed, was by others, his incentive to flee changed when he was taken into custody last night. I said the defendant is a wealthy man, and that allows him to flee quickly and without detection. His counsel have taken steps to minimize his flight risk to set him up from the arguments that are being made today. But then his incentives are entirely different. He flew to New York 2 weeks ago. He and y'all, it says this is from the U.S. attorney that's arguing in the court. It said he flew to New York yesterday or 2 weeks ago, and it said he had what appears to be narcotics found in his hotel room last night. Pink powder. It's the pink powder, y'all. Pink powder that has previously tested positive for ecstasy and others. This is a Heartland detention case. His package is woefully inadequate. It only focuses on his flight risk. The government has spoken to over 50 witnesses. We have sworn out warrants for cloud accounts. The search has yielded 90 cell phones and 30 other devices, including a surveillance system. The freak-offs are corroborated. 300 grand jury subpoenas, y'all. 300. That means 300 different people. I want to make sure you heard me again. Inner City Press, if you got Twitter, go on and give him a follow. Great job to him. I'm going to send him some change, some pocket change. Oh, you can also send me some at Cash App, Miss Redwine, MISS Redwine, my last name. The pink powder, him having pink powder last night, if that found in the room, that's going to be a big issue for the judge, because what that says is, even if we were to let you sit home in your $60 million mansion with an ankle bracelet on, you're going to be sitting around doing narcotics, the same things that in this petition it states that you're doing and that you're giving to others, etc., etc. You got a problem. You got a problem here, buddy, buckaroo. It said the defendant poses a danger to these proceedings through obstruction. He should be detained pending trial. Diddy's lawyer says, I'm going to, address the government's letter first. But on September 5th, he flew to New York. We could tell that an indictment was coming in the fall from our meetings with the prosecutor's chiefs. I told y'all. Including he probably knew that the raid was coming. My client flew to New York. I told prosecutors I'd like to give him the opportunity to turn himself in. It is critical. Hey, Hampton, I see you're here. It's critical to understand that they didn't let him turn himself in, and it was for a reason. For the same reason they want him detained now. And to be clear, detained now means he's going to have to sit until his trial in a federal jail. I call it a jail. It's a detention center. I do not like the word detention center because it makes people think that it's less than a jail. It's jail. It's nasty. They got roaches. They got stinky people. They got criminals. Okay? It's all of the bad things. All of the bad things. Thank you, Merelda. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Who would know about a raid coming and leave all of that? Wait, somebody said, who would know about a raid coming and leave all that lubricant out? I don't think it was left out on a counter. When they do raids, but that's a great statement, Z. When they do raids, they go through everything. They open up, they move toilets. They look inside of toilets. They look in attics. All of the above. They go to the hiding places. But 1,000 things of lube, I don't know, maybe he had that in his garage or something. I don't know. Where do you place that much lube? And what are you doing with all that baby oil? Oh, now, okay, his attorney, I want to show you the document where his attorney, I'm going to put it on the screen. This is what his attorney was offering the courts as proof of why he was not a flight risk. Specifically, I'm going to put it up a bit bigger. Somebody said slip inside. All right, so the main thing was a $50 million bond. $50 million bond that was going to be co-signed by Diddy, his mama, Miss Janice, and her platinum wig, Diddy's sister, Chance's mama, his daughter Chance's mama. We're going to talk about that pick-me. Y'all can read my lips. I'm not going to say it for you. That pick-me. We're going to talk about her as well. And his 3 adult sons would be co-signers. Now, that's interesting. The bond would be co-signed by them. Here's what that means. It means if he were to abscond, and if he were to flee, that the court, he's going to put up the $50 million. So that $50 million bond would go away. He'd lose that bond. And then also potentially assets of his mama, the sister, Chance's mama, and the 3 adult sons could also be taken. Wait a minute. 3. Oh, hell, they done put Quincy in this. I thought Quincy was doing all right. I thought Quincy was staying out of it. Going over to your daddy, I'll be sure. Oh, 3 adult sons that are co-signing on the bond. That means Christian, Justin, and it's got to be Quincy. Gosh darn it. I'm looking at these. Somebody said check on Carisha. Carisha's going to be okay because Carisha can fight. She's going to be fighting all up and through that jail, just like a mama. Now, in addition, C says the bond will be secured by the equity in his residence located at Star Island in Florida. The appraised value of the home is $48 million. Damn. $48 million. The home's unencumbered. In anticipation of this bail hearing on August 20th, Mr. Combs paid off the remaining mortgage of about $18 million so that the home could be used to secure a bond and be free of a mortgage. Also, the bond would be secured by the equity of his mama's house. Look, mama, And Mr. Holmes' travel will be restricted to Southern District of Florida and Southern District of New York to attend court, meet counsel, attend medical appointments, etc. Also, Mr. Combs voluntarily surrendered his passport April 1st as a good faith gesture. Y'all, this was a good faith gesture in hopes that if he did that, meaning didn't abscond, didn't flee or any of that, if he did that, that when it came time for bond, they would grant him one. And then G, he also in support, this is clever, gave the passports of his mama, all of the girl daughters. You see, them sons didn't give up their passport. They said, Daddy, leave me alone, Daddy. I ain't in that. I got to go to the islands. Because I don't know, them boys, they might need to run. I don't think near one of them. Quincy might go fight a little bit. But Christian's gonna get his ass whooped in that prison. I'm gonna tell you that much. All right, let's see. They go on then to give you a history of the investigation and basically share with you all the steps that they took to participate and to be agreeable and to show that he is not a flight risk. He even attempted to sell his airplane. Oh, how nice. I'm going to read that section. On May 21st, counsel advised AUSAs during a call, Mr. Combs had commenced efforts to sell his airplane. Probably because he needed money for lawyers. Okay. Money for lawyers. We followed up on that conversation the next day with a letter to the AUSAs that efforts were underway to sell the aircraft and reminding the AUSAs that counsel continued to be in possession of his passport. Over the past several months, there have been several potential buyers for the plane, and at least 2 buyers have signed a letter of intent to purchase the aircraft. Just this weekend, a buyer for the aircraft and reps for Mr. Combs executed a letter of intent. Due to the nature of this asset, and the amount of inspection and due diligence required for a purchase, it's not a simple asset to offload. In advance of the plane being sold, which it eventually will be, we have agreed to keep the plane in LA while Mr. Combs resides in his home in Florida if it is not being chartered, coincidentally, and not at Mr. Combs' request. Last night, the airplane was chartered from LA to Teterboro. Mr. Combs had no advanced knowledge of the flight, nor did he possess any control over its movement. Here's what's interesting. In my coverage earlier today, I talked about one of the most significant portions of the indictment. I'm still looking. We got 1,000. We got 1,000 watching. We only got 200 likes. Let's get these likes up, guys. Get these likes up. All right. I see that. Okay. Earlier today, this is in reference to the plane. And he's talking about, hey, he's going to sell the plane, which again will make him less of a flight risk. He can't sell damn near nothing. Because earlier when I talked about the indictment, I'll put it back up on the screen. With the indictment, there's the section in there. Here we go. There's that last page, that last section of forfeiture, where in it, here it is, the government is asking that he forfeit all assets that were used in furtherance of any of these crimes. Here he goes, forfeiture allegations. They want it gone. What that means is also they're stating he cannot sell any assets, including this plane that he's talking about getting rid of, that he wants to sell in part. Somebody, Naomi said he got to sell the plane regardless. Here's the problem, though. Arguably, because one of the claims against him is sex trafficking, and he was found with narcotics in the Miami airport earlier this year. His plane, when Brendan Paul, his mule, was arrested, there's evidence that this airplane was used in furtherance of these crimes. So therefore, him getting rid of that, no. With asset forfeiture, what that means is the government gets to seize it and not give you a dime. The government gets to auction it and use it to do whatever they want. They could throw a Christmas party with Diddy's money, and they probably will. But they get to seize all of his assets. So I found it interesting that in his attorney's documents, I did not comb my hair today. In his attorney's documents, they're listing all of these assets, and that's cute and all, but those are just more assets that the U.S. attorney is going to attempt to take. Yes, the glam girl said the plane is his evidence. Exactly. They're going to get that plane. The plane is how he moved women and S workers and etc. from state to state. And remember, the reason why this is in federal court is because these offenses cross state lines. Otherwise, it would just have been in California or New York or Florida court, whichever court. Yes, correct. Diddy can't sell it right now. Too late. Any of that stuff needed to happen before the indictment. Any sales, any of that needed to happen before the indictment. Can he sell the homes that the crimes were committed in? No, baby, he can't sell nothing. Nothing. In fact, what's going to happen is there's going to be motion hearings where the feds are basically like, we want all of it. Give it to us, especially that Miami residence, which is the residence where the raid took place. That's where they got all this. That's where they got the Bible and the lubricant and the nasty stuff in the videos. That house is going to be the first one to go, right? And that's the one. Here's the crazy part. That's the house he stated he just paid off. See? That's the one he said he paid off in anticipation of this so that he could have some money for bail. You might have paid, he very well might have paid that off. $48 million and literally handed it to the government. Did y'all know that? Let me know in the chat if you knew that with civil asset forfeiture, I don't even know that it becomes a credit to your restitution. It's literally just fruits of a poisonous tree, meaning you got it from, let's say it was selling, drugs or something like that. You got it from doing something illegal. And so they say we get to take it because we don't reward bad behavior. I said the same thing to my ex-boyfriends. Yeah, somebody said he's an idiot. Yeah, he should have sold when he started getting the raids. He should have been selling stuff a lot faster because he knew what they were going to find. He knew what they were going to come up. Hold on, let me check the tweets. Oh, because the way this man is on it. Y'all, I had to take my blood pressure medicine twice today. It's a lot of stuff happening. All right, here we go. The Bell fight. Let me just share it. I'm going to share. Oh, here it is. I just want to see. I'm trying to see. He's sitting at the bell table. La-di-da-di-da. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there was an update. And I think, okay, 53 minutes ago. Come on. Oh, yes. Okay, Diddy's lawyers are basically saying like how frightened the family was back when the raid happened March 25th, the lasers, all of that. They don't want that to happen again, that the family is going to participate in any way necessary, and that they're not going to in any way try to flee. Don't nobody care if the kids go somewhere. Let them little girls go wherever they want to go. Their life's been terrible enough. No one cares. He did offer the passports. Yeah. He offered up the passports. They weren't seized. He offered up his own, his passport or the kid's passport. None of them were seized. That was all done voluntarily. And so that's part of what they are leaning towards to say, hey guys, you should just give him bail. Okay. And it's also, the problem is this. Here's the bail problem. You got live updates. Hold on. I got it over here. Combs' attorney claims they're coming into Combs' bedroom. The prosecutors raised the video, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they're still in the hearing. So we got that. So right now, the state, here's what's crazy. I have not seen a case that has, the only times you see a case where they argue no bail is a case where it's an S trafficking offense. And R. Kelly initially got, let me see. He initially got, no. Okay. He did receive a bail of $1 million and had to put up the 100, but then later that was revoked, is what it appears. His friend put up this Valencia Love, the woman who posted his bail, and then let's see, because what I wanted to do is compare the R. Kelly situation to this one, but what it was is this. I believe R. Kelly R. Kelly was charged in different places. Now, he received bail. Here we go. The bail that he received, it is just what I thought. That was, mm-mm. That was for, I believe that was for Chicago. New York said nope. New York, and New York is obviously where Diddy is being tried. New York says no bail. No bail for you, nasty man, because you gross. Yep. Appeals court upholds decision to deny R. Kelly bail. That was later in the year. He can remain behind bars awaiting multiple trials. Da 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 da. Child, it's not looking good for this man at all. So here we go. I want to show you some highlights from this is the state's document. Okay. Faith says you think he's being bailed out. Here's what I think is going to be the challenge. Let me go to the page. Let me get to it. Ba-ba-ba. Bam. Here we go. I really like it when I'm right. It makes me feel like I'm psychic. I'm Creole, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're psychic. So basically the allegations, let me put it up larger. This craziness, it really just starts with the fact that they focus on the fact that he already tried to obstruct the government's investigation multiple times. And obstruction is a component of the RICO charge. That is why they're saying it's not as simple of is this person a flight risk? Because the concern is if they're in jail, they can't tamper with witnesses, right? All of the calls will be recorded. It would be known. It won't be as easy to tamper with witnesses, to destroy evidence. He's destroyed evidence in the past. That is likely what they're going to hang on to say no bail here. In addition, and for those that are in my membership, what I'm going to do is I've created a folder, a digital folder, and it's got all these original documents on there. So those in my membership, which I think is like $4, there's different levels. There's jury, there's paralegal, but you get access to these documents on there, unredacted. All right. It also talks about the fact that he arranged the different rendezvous, y'all know what I'm talking about, with the assistance of members and associates from the enterprise, that basically he's got this network of people who help him commit these acts. Now, they also talk about this violence. So earlier in my prior broadcast, we were talking about the arson. So part of the indictment that goes under RICO was that one of the claims was arson. And it has been confirmed through this document that the arson was related not to Kimora Lee's home, but to what he did to Kid Cudi. Specifically, it states December of 2011, defendant and a co-conspirator kidnapped an individual at Pow Pow to facilitate breaking into and entering the residence of another person. Multiple witnesses would testify at trial to the events surrounding the taking of the person and the break-in, the latter of which is corroborated by police reports, and other records. Approximately 2 weeks later, the defendant's co-conspirators set fire to individual one's vehicle. Individual one, Kid Cudi. Individual one's vehicle by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Police and fire department reports extensively document the arson and conclude that the fire was intentionally set. Multiple witnesses would also testify to the defendant bragging about his role in destroying individual I's car, Kid Cudi's car. It says law enforcement reports corroborate that police responded to several instances of the defendant's violence, including assaults against victims and other individuals. More recently, there's been an outpouring of other public allegations against the defendant, including claims of threats and physical, violence, dating as far back as the 90s. And then it cites all these different cases. This was Joy Dickerson against Combs, Liza Gardner, the Jane Doe case, Crystal McKinney, Don Richards, and on and on. Also, they found not just did they find the weapons, but he hires security guards with significant criminal history and violent records. Okay, so all they do is just break bones for this man. Now, it also talks about him. It says most recently in his latest 2023, this is bribing witnesses and obstructing justice. In 2023, immediately following public allegations of certain of the defendant's crimes, including his physical and other abuse of women, he and other members of the enterprise made repeated phone calls to victims and witnesses, during which they provided victims and witnesses with false narratives of events in an apparent effort to conceal the defendant's crimes. On at least 2 occasions, the defendant recorded those calls on a co-conspirator's cell phone, thereby attempting to obscure his involvement in the obstruction. He ain't getting no bail. What? You need to sit it out, brother. You're not my brother. You're not my brother. You're not my brother. You're not my cousin. You are that uncle at the family reunion that nobody is allowed to hug. We have one of those in the family. I won't say his name because my dad will get mad. But I almost got kicked out of the family chat because I'll tell you, I almost got kicked out of the family chat this week because somebody sent a mass text to, the cousin text saying, hey, so-and-so died and here's the funeral. Well, it was the son, but I thought it was the uncle that we're not allowed to hug. It was just the son. And I said, wait a minute. Is this that uncle we're not allowed to hug at the family reunion? And they were like, and somebody wrote, oh boy. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. And then somebody called my daddy. And my daddy said, you talking about that uncle I told you can't hug? I said, yeah. He said, good. Hate that nigga. I would kill him myself if he wasn't already dead. But anyway, my point is that's Diddy. We don't want nothing to do with him. All right. Sidebar. So sorry, guys, when I do my offside story, just put sidebar in the chat and then I'll move along. The investigation is ongoing. This is the other part I wanted you to be aware of. Ongoing is significant because what it is saying here, they ain't done yet. This is important too because it lets people know you need to go ahead and cooperate so that you can be on this side of the law and not this side of the law, not this side of the law. This one, the one in the jail cell, in Diddy's cell. Yeah, let me think. Yeah. You got the sidebar. Thank you. Y'all assisted me with that. Yes. So, and I think this is telling for people like Young Miami, Daphne Joy, Young Miami, Daphne Joy, Brendan the Mule, all of those people. This is the time. It's ongoing, and they're saying that means there could be additional charges for other co-conspirators. Now, the standard, I just want to be clear, the standard for whether or not bail should be offered is a finding. You have to have a finding of dangerousness, and it has to be supported by what's called clear and convincing evidence. Clear and convincing evidence, if it was on a scale, there's a preponderance of the evidence, which is like 51%. And then clear and convincing is more like 80%. Okay, 75%. And that is the government's burden. And what they're saying here is because of the way he has previously obstructed justice, they believe they satisfy those grounds. We've got the dangerousness, we've got the obstruction, the risk of flight. They talked about the defendant can't overcome the presumption he's a flight risk. It says the crimes he's charged with carry significant penalties, including a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years and a max of life. Some people were asking, what could he be facing? He's facing life, y'all. Life. And not like that Martin Lawrence movie. Life for real. It's not going to be fun. He's not going to be cool when he goes to jail, okay? Like Martha Stewart was cool. He's going to be the opposite. It says the possibility of a substantial sentence is a significant factor in assessing the risk of flight. This fact alone would be, here the defendant is facing at least 15 years in prison. The fact alone would provide compelling incentive for anyone to flee from prosecution. But the incentive to flee is especially strong for this defendant who at age 54 faces the very real prospect of spending a substantial portion of the rest of his life locked up. They won't let him out, as detailed in the evidence. All right. His incentive to flee, coupled with his seemingly limitless resources, create significant flight risk of non-appearance. His net worth is publicly estimated at being close to a billion with a B. Interestingly, footnote 10 says, through conversations with defense counsel, the government understands that defense counsel is currently in possession of the defendant's passport, as well as the passports of several of his family members, and that the defendant is in the process of attempting to sell his plane and LA home. As explained above, however, the defendant's vast resources make him a risk even without a passport, private plane, or multiple resources. Let me tell you something. Mm, I got a slow cousin who once fled to Mexico. Okay. He's slow and he never had any money. He was able to get to Mexico, I don't know, on the back of a fruit truck. I'm not exactly sure. But you can flee even without your passport. If you have the proper resources, you can get a fake passport, a plethora of those kinds of things. Here we go. The way to the end. I think it was 7. Hold on. You go to page 7. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I want to get to the part where I'm not reading this whole thing. The way my ADD is set up, no, I'm not doing that. Here we go. This is what it is. This is why the bail package isn't good enough. Okay. So the court says, now let's go on down. We're going on down. Well, I'll start with the first. It's only 2 paragraphs. My ADD can take it. All right. It says, for all the reasons set forth, there's no bail package that can reasonably assure the safety of others in this case, where the defendant has engaged in a decade-long pattern of violence against women and others and used his wealth and power to ensure his criminal conduct goes unpunished through manipulative and obstructive conduct. In particular, the bail package proposed by the defense is insufficient because it fails to adequately protect others from his violence, impose measures to prevent and detect obstruction, or to prevent the defendant from accessing his vast resources, including millions in cash. Second paragraph, defense counsel has proposed certain bail conditions, including home detention with electronic monitoring and a $50 million bond secured by the defendant's Miami property. These conditions are plainly insufficient to address the legitimate concerns set out above. In particular, given the defendant's history of engaging in obstructive conduct, the court must reject the insufficient conditions proposed, which do nothing to prevent and detect. Okay. Okay, so the defendant was charged with witness tampering where obstruction remained an ongoing concern. Second Circuit reversed the district court's release on bail conditions because the $1 million bond, which was to be secured by properties owned by the defendant and members of his family, only deterred flight, not danger. More specifically, the Second Circuit, the Second Circuit found the bail condition intended to address witness tampering, which was a general prohibition that the defendant was not to commit a crime or intimidate a witness. But that does not at all impede his ability to do it. So just to say, oh, you're not supposed to talk to any witnesses, don't mean he's not going to do it. And then drop below, it says, notably, defendant previously proposed conditions don't include provisions related to his access to electronic devices as outlined, nor do the conditions include information related to restrictions on his accounts, etc., etc. Hold on one second. And then I wanted to make this part. Oh, here we go. Oh, what is that? 14. Yep. And then also this here. Okay, so this part here, yes, this defense counsel here, this part here, the $50 million with the bond and the Miami property, that's why. So he cannot get a bond on that property. He's not gonna be able to get a bond on that property unless the bondsman feels secure that it's not gonna be caught up in the $100 million case over there. Yes, the $100 million case. So he's screwed. So that was going to the point that we made just yesterday. Now, I agree. They would have obstructed justice after the Fed raided. Okay. Kevin Liles has stepped down. What do we think that means? What do we think that means? I think it means he's been interviewed by the feds, and that's going to come out. And what he said to the feds is going to come out. Now, I'm not saying he's committed a crime, but I believe he probably told it all. And whatever that truth is, ain't gonna look good for him. Ain't gonna look good for him at all. Now, whether he helped Diddy cover up some things, whether he turned the other cheek, whether he ignored, obvious evidence of his abuse of Cassie, we will find out. But that man was interviewed by the feds, and he knows it. And now that Diddy has been arrested, he knows at a minimum, Mr. Lyles will be called. Sorry, I don't have pants on. Gosh, it's been that kind of a day. So I'm trying to get comfortable, and it's hard because my bottom is uncovered. All right. But with Kevin Lyles, with Kevin Lyles, we're going to see, I have a feeling he turned a blind eye to certain crimes, and now he's going to have to account for it. And this could ruin, he's done a really good job of keeping his name clean, his brand, his family. He's got that lovely, wonderful wife, etc. All of that is now in jeopardy because he wanted to be loyal to this hooligan. Ooh, Nisha said bad boy for life or for real now. Bad boy for life, for real now. Oh, absolutely. Here we go. I'm trying to see if there's another update. I'm on the associate. Like, I'm not trying to miss this. I need him to not get bail. Oh, a minute ago. Guys, do not go anywhere. I get this live. The judge has returned to make a decision. Don't you go nowhere. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna see it together. Hold on. In this case, it looks like he's being retained. It looks like no bail. It looks like no bail. Hold on, if I'm reading this right. It looks like no bail, y'all. No bail, baby. Woo! Y'all, I'm sorry. Somebody said I love this channel. It's like Nancy Grace meets Cardi B / Whitley Gilbert, little sprinkling. Because I don't know that Whitney was smart. I'm smart, guys. I'm smart, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna hit the refresh. It's looking like it's a no bail, baby. Hold on. Judges return to make her decision. The reason they're saying that is, oh boy, what's the inner city press? I don't even know his name. He says the prosecutor filed back in. Then he says the judge says, do we need to wait for your partner? And then Diddy's lawyer says, Agna Philo says, I really appreciate it. The judge then says, in this case, I find the presumption has not been rebutted. The presumption, and I believe she's referring to the presumption of dangerousness. The presumption of dangerousness, y'all. Oh, thank you, Darian. Oh, yeah. I'm just triple checking, y'all. Because I'm fallible. I'm fallible. I am fallible. I'm just want to make sure. Yeah, no. I'm so grateful for this man sitting in this courtroom like that. Yeah, no, it looks like the presumption is of dangerousness under these facts. Oh, hold on, y'all. Don't forget, if you'd like to schedule a consultation with me, I still have openings. You just go, this is my website, SimoneRedwine.com. You just click over here, book Simone. Book 30-minute consultation is $159 for 30-minute consultation. But also go up to the top. You can get my book, which is Background Checks 101. It's an ebook, a beginner's guide to discovering who the heck you're really dealing with. Now, back to the tea. Come on back. Oh my gosh, Inner City Press. I need more. Give us more. Give us more. A judge deliberates and whether to set bail, and this is a scene outside the courthouse. It appears that he's saying, in this case, I find the presumption has not been rebutted. Unless she's still sitting in there thinking, nope, we got it. We got it. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to holler. Justin, a judge refuses to grant bail to Diddy. I want to make sure you see. Oh, let me make it bigger so you guys can see it. Here we go. Here we go. Just in Associated Press, judge refuses to grant bail to Sean Diddy Combs, orders him sent to jail while he awaits order in the court. Hit the tip jar, guys. Hit the tip jar. MISS red wine, please. Miss Red Wine. All lowercase, all uppercase, whatever. Just give me some money. Give me some money. Thank you. I feel like we did it, although I didn't really do anything except for pray. I prayed for Cassie. I've been praying for Dawn. I'm praying for Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey, sis, I hope you feel vindicated. Justice for Kim Porter. I pray for her first. Come on, Kimmy. We see you up there in heaven doing that work. Come on, Kimmy. Yes. Wow. No, Danny, let me clear. Jail until that plea. No, baby, he's already plead. Diddy has already plead. That means jail until trial. Jail until trial. Y'all remember how many years it took to get to trial with R. Kelly? I remember, as I mentioned, I was one of the first attorneys, a part of the legal team of the first attorneys that filed civilly against R. Kelly. I developed a strategy to file in New York. I'm licensed in New York. We filed against R. Kelly in civil court in New York. And subsequent to that, then the others have used the same New York laws. It's the Gender Motivated Crimes Act is what I used because it provided 3 times attorney's fees. It provided attorney's fees and separately up to 3 times the damages for my client. Bless her heart. Yeah, no, it's not jail until plea. It's jail until trial. Why won't this go away? There we go. Jail until trial. That's it. Specifically, the judge said she has significant concerns about his substance abuse. Y'all, it was the pink powder. The pink powder got him. The pink powder got him. Oh, I want to thank you for the super chats. Sabra, thank you so much. Halo new member. Yay! I'm so excited about this membership, guys. I truly appreciate this support. Last year at this time, I was a professor at a fabulous law school. And honestly, just the way that our government works with allocating money to HBCUs, they just didn't have the budget. And I said, you know what? I don't want to stop teaching. I want to teach from YouTube. So Professor Redwine in the building. And by supporting me with the super chats and stuff, you really make it feasible and possible for me to give you these current and live updates. So thank you again. April, do I think his attorney advised him this could happen with his assets, but that he did not listen? So I think you're probably talking about how I talked about the civil asset forfeiture part. So what's difficult is it's a little bit of both. I think so what it is this. Yes, I do think the attorney advised him the risk of both. But the problem is that the assets that he has, the houses and stuff, they're worth so much. It takes forever to sell a $50 million house. You can sell my little $300,000 house or whatever it is, that'll go tomorrow. Somebody can pay that cash. But when you're talking about the digits, he's talking about those kind of homes can sit on the market for years. So there's that. But then secondly, they really did need, I do believe it was a good strategy of his lawyers to try and pay off one of the houses to be able to use it for collateral, because I do not believe a bail bondsman, ain't no bail bondsman's finna put that up. First of all, they don't have it to put up. They don't have it to put up. Not no 50 million, but he wanted to give the court more than enough. But the problem is he's been tampering with witnesses. He's been tampering with witnesses for decades. Can we not forget about Shine? Shine going to prison for that man? Over 20 years ago. Shine is now a politician in Belize, where he's originally from, but he was an artist on Diddy's label. They all went to a club one night. Oh, one of the documents, y'all, that I read over talks about how he actually asked one of the women to keep a pow pow in her purse. Now, I wasn't sure. Oops, Sonora, if you're watching this, yes, honey, I'm gonna come on. I'll come on tonight. Hold on. This is one of the TV shows that I do, one of the news networks that I do news for, that is calling me on my phone. I'll hit her to let her know I can come on in a minute. Girl, hold on. Let me see. Hey, girl. Oh, she hung up. I'll call her. But what I want to be clear is, so with the property, how it works is that you got to pay off one to have even a shot at being able to make your own bail, because a bail bondsman isn't going to be able to put up, if it was a multi-million dollar bail, they wouldn't be able to do that. Also, at this point, the fact that, his kids have put up their passports, that's cute. That's cute and all. But the problem is this. We've already heard stories about how this man done slapped his mama. He slapped the platinum wig off Miss Janice. Okay. Just knocked her across the, okay. Well, maybe he didn't slap the wig off, but he did slap her, according to his own former security officer. So my point is, if that's how he behaves, what's to say he wouldn't throw his kids under the bus? And he wouldn't flee and just say, I'm going to use all this money, get a new face, get a drizzy BBL, change my body, and try and move on, because what he can't do is jail. It's not. I almost want to talk to, like, I'm trying to think what celebrity. Oh, I have a homeboy who's been to jail. I want to ask him. He used to be a celebrity. I want to ask him, see if I can get him to come on and ask him, what does he think? How does he think Diddy's going to do? Now, the feds are much nicer than state. State is like disgusting. Thank you, Gentrification, for the super chat. Oh, thank you, Green Bites. And Nisi, thank you, Miss Martin. I appreciate you as well. Let's ooh. Oh, yes, please like the video, y'all. We don't have enough likes. We need those likes. Somebody said he's gonna get Epstein. I think if someone else did that to Epstein, I think he'll probably do it to himself. He's a weak man. He's a very weak man. He probably has an addiction. Yeah. So the judge has said here, let's go back to what the judge said. In deciding to deny Combs bail, the judge said she has very significant concerns about his substance abuse and what appears to be anger issues. She also said she considered alternatives, but doesn't think it's sufficient because so much of what's alleged happened behind closed doors. Judge refuses to grant bail to Diddy, orders him sent to jail while he awaits his trial. Why do I feel like, oh, we did it? Yes, this is the jail background. I'm in his cell. Welcome home, Diddy. Welcome home. And doesn't he have that song? I'm coming home. He got a coming home song with Diddy. This is for you. I'd play the music, but YouTube would strike me. I wonder how many of his people Diddy's people are talking. I don't know, but I do. The addiction is serious. And what's crazy though is, you're gonna get drugs in jail too. They get drugs in jail. It's not like that don't happen there. But I can understand you don't want him to just simply, you do not want him to be able to simply sit at home in his $50 million mansion, which is literally a palace. Sit in the palace for the next 2 years, eating Uber Eats and tampering with witnesses, having, and then he's gonna, oh my gosh, he's not gonna have any sex. What is he gonna do then? No sex. Somebody check on Young Miami. Somebody check on her. I'm gonna follow her on Instagram. I'm gonna follow her. I'm gonna see what she's thinking. Someone said he definitely has an addiction. Thank you for doing your like. Hit that like. How do we join the monthly membership? The monthly membership is, if someone could send a link to it, it is on YouTube. Let me see. I'll go to the page on my channel. Let's go on and show you. The heck? I will show you. But what is he gonna do for sex, guys? Gosh, he's not normal, I guess. Oh, see, I'm logged in as me. I need to be logged in not as me because it shows a little bit too much stuff. But let me just do this. Here, under this tab right here, where mine says customize and manage videos, on yours, either community or membership, you should be able to click it and hit join, or there may be a button right here that should say join for you to join and be a member. Oh, here it is. You can hit join there and you can join as well. Oh, yeah. So it should be right around here. Join it. There you go. So thank you for asking. Yeah. What? There we go. We're going right on back over to this one. I'm still in shock. Somebody said he'll have no problem. He's a celebrity and those boys are going to throw it at him. Boy won't. Oh, that's true. Because he likes boys' bottoms, allegedly. But I also want to be very clear with you guys. Yeah, this is fun and this is silly. And I do sometimes, give it from that perspective. But I want you to understand what this means for the victims. I'm talking the 10 different people that have pending civil cases right now. It means they're not getting paid until after his trial. And we already know the government is going to seize as much of those assets as possible. God damn it. Gosh. Y'all, I'm just thinking about that. Oh, excuse me. Again, I don't have pants on. I didn't have time to put pants on today. But literally for the victims. So what happens is this. Once a criminal case starts, it freezes your civil cases because civil cases require you, when you're a defendant, you have to go through a deposition. Well, I'm going to use the analogy of the Bill Cosby case. In civil cases, what happens is it freezes because the person says, hey, I'm not going to testify. I'm not going to do a deposition because that testimony could be used against me in my criminal trial. So instead, I'm going to go through the criminal trial. And once that's done, the judge of the civil cases will remove the stay and allow them to proceed. Now, when it is not an if, when this man is found guilty, unfortunately, all they will have left to get is whatever is left after he's paid his legal fees. Now, if I were one of the attorneys on the legal team for those victims, like I said, I represented one of the victims, the first to file a lawsuit in New York State against R. Kelly. And I was very clear. Hey, we need to get a default because this motherfucker is not going to try to pay nobody. And that's, of course, what he did. Now, what I would do in this instance, because remember, the government here in the indictment says they want civil asset forfeiture. They want him to forfeit his planes, his homes, anything, real estate, any asset that he has that they believed was used in the commission of these crimes or that was bought with money or resources related to these crimes. The government wants to seize it. What I would do is I would try to coordinate with the government to say, hey guys, if you do seize it and you auction that, I ask that you create a fund for his victims so that when we win our civil cases, because baby, I'm going to win. If I was one of the ones, I say, I'm going to win. I'm going to tear that up in the courtroom. I'm not going to jail. When I win, we want that money to be available to make the victims whole. Now, I'm not as versed on civil asset forfeiture law, but that's a way that you can kind of work with the feds to say, yep, because the goal of civil asset forfeiture is that's what they do to like drug dealers, right? They take their assets because they don't want you to be able to continue to use this for your criminal enterprise. By crippling the money, you cripple the enterprise. And so at the end of the day, as long as that money is out of the hands of the villain, then they're generally happy. But we gotta pray for these victims, y'all. Lil Rod, I knew it. When I read that petition Lil Rod's lawyers wrote, and bless his heart, I said, oh hell. This man ain't never gonna get paid. He might get paid one day, but it's gonna be 5 more years. That man he gonna have to get up and go apply for a job at the Golden Corral or something. He does music. Maybe he could sing on a cruise ship. I took a Virgin cruise. The music was pretty good, actually. He's going to have to get up and go to work. So anybody who was sitting around thinking, I filed this suit, hopefully they'll settle soon. No, it's not happening. Oh, his lawyer's talking to the press now. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can get it. Hold on. Oh, yes. Hold on. Oh, yeah. It's on law and crime. Okay. Here we go. I don't see him talking at the moment. Send me a link if you've got it. I do see one here. I'm going to share it. This is the one that I see, but he is not talking yet. We waiting to see it though. Let's see. You have a link? Can you put a link in the chat? Remember when he put out a message saying, text or call my phone if you're still my friend? I think he was deciding who he's going to snitch on. Who said that? Oh, the lawyer's done talking. My apologies. He just finished. Associated Press. Oh, that's where we were. Okay. Let me just hit the refresh. Oh.
You are an issue.
Quincy. Poor
Careful,
Quincy.
pedestrians, careful.
Keep it strong. Not slow. Does the attorney have anything to say? How are you feeling, sir?
Watch your baby, watch your baby.
Is there anything you'd like to share? Any comment? How important was it for
I see the other one. I saw it. I beat it to. You get it. We're gonna. Poor thing. Oh, yeah. Hello. Oh, God. I don't pull this one down. I'm going to add the U.S. attorney is talking, so. Oh, it's so loud. There we go. The U.S. attorney is talking. Hold on 1 second. I'm about to log in and get that one. Hold on. Come on. We need. Why is this not loading? Oh, I know why. All right, let's see. We want. Is this it? U.S. attorney? Hold on. Because I can't get into Facebook. Can you give me another link? For some reason, it's not letting me into my Facebook. Is there another link where I could get the? I'm trying to get the U.S. attorney speaking. Oh, yeah, and it states that his lawyer is seeking to appeal this. No, his lawyer is seeking to appeal this tomorrow. There's going to be an appeals hearing tomorrow at 3:30. I don't. And that ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. Did Diddy legally adopt Quincy? I don't know, but the courts are. Thank you. The courts are referring to Quincy as his son. I'm sorry, his own documents. There we go. His own documents are referring to him. His lawyer drafted are referring to Quincy as the son. Hold on. So we've got. Here we go. Isn't it? No, hold on. I'm trying to get I think somebody just posted the link, another link to view the U.S. attorney, and I'm trying to get to that one. Here it is. Nope, that's the Facebook link. God dang, I can't get in my damn Facebook. Here, I didn't get no damn code. The hell? All right, let me see if I got it. Diddy thought Russell Simmons can't help him either. No, not at all. No, it's not his son. He's employing a strategy. He coerced Kim. Let's see. He coerced Kim into having him adopt Quincy to maintain control over her and have Quincy dependent on him. I think it was also part of he likes having people. See, I think Diddy did it also as a big F you to Albie Shore. Like, I took your woman and I took your kid. I took your woman and I took your kid. He does still have Albie Shore's. If he legally adopted, you figured he'd change that. Ah, smart. Smart deduction. I want to know why I'm not getting no text message from Facebook so that I can log in. It's about to piss me off. Let me see if I can get, we want the U.S. attorney. That was a few hours ago. Yeah, I don't see, if anyone sees a more recent link of the U.S. attorney talking again, let me know. But I'm on the Associated Press page. Let's see, let me hit refresh. They are live outside the courtroom. Yeah, I don't see anything else here. If I'm missing it, let me see. Yeah, Albie Shore, poor Albie Shore. Let me say he did. He basically tried to get rid of Albie Shore. Yep, absolutely. He sure did. Oh, we got new members. Thank you so much. Let's see if I got that. Yes. Poor Quincy. Poor Quincy for getting wrapped up in this foolishness with his fake daddy, his old fake daddy, criminal daddy. I'm so sorry that happened to him. All right, so let me see if we got any additional ones. Here we go. All right. Ooh. Will young Miami have to testify against Diddy to avoid her potential? Absolutely. She sure will. She sure will. Sure will. Young Miami will have to testify against him. The only way out of it is if he takes a plea deal. That's it. Otherwise, she's going to be singing like a canary. Singing like a canary. Although I know she likes to fight and isn't afraid of jail. It's not something she's unfamiliar with. She don't want to go. She's too rich for jail at this point. It wouldn't even be fun. Literally says, Simone, you're amazing. Glad we have you. Who will take custody of the girls? At least his family did not have to put up their home since he has no bail. That is an excellent question, Latrice. So what I was thinking is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if Chance's mom takes them in. Now the girls are 17. They're seniors in high school. Lord have mercy. Oh, no. Did they just graduate? No, Chance. That's what it is. Chance graduated from high school, I believe. She skipped a grade. And the sisters are, I believe they're in their senior year. You guys can help me with that. But the answer is the girls were 17. So more than likely, or 18, either way. I think Quincy would take them, would be my first guess. There's also a chance of Kimora. Auntie Kimora loves them very, very much. And she has made clear, she has insinuated, I won't say made clear, but insinuated she would happily take them in. Now, I don't know if they're in the same. Yeah, the twins are seniors in high school. Chance graduated. Thank you, Elite, for confirming. So I would guess, my guess would be Quincy would be first. That Quincy would probably move into the home that the girls are already in. Now I believe the girls, I believe the girls are in school in LA at whatever that little rich people school is in LA. And if that's the case, that's the house that's supposed to be on the market to be sold. But I would, my first guess would be Quincy, because Quincy's about 30 years old now. So I believe Quincy would take them in. He's old enough, and honestly, it's not even that a court really may not get involved aside from just more so. I could see the court like CPS, right? The girls are 18, but they are seniors in high school. So CPS isn't likely going to be involved. They're more so going to do like the school probably would have a health and wellness kind of check, have the guidance counselor talk with the girls, confirm that they have, someone with them. Now at 18, technically them girls could go out, sign up to be strippers if they wanted to. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but I mean, they could go out and get any job they wanted to. They could be influencers. They could be models. They could sign up to be models. They could do whatever they wanted. So as a result of them being 18, they could do, 18. Someone said they'll be 18 in December. So I do hope they have trust funds too. Someone else, yep, Sierra Canyon. So that's the same school that like Lala's kids go to and a bunch of others. But these girls, golly. I mean, Yeah. Oh, somebody said they need to confiscate his mama's blonde wig. Tammy, this is why I'm your legal bestie and you're my internet bestie. Because that Miss Janice's wig needed to go years ago. I just thought that rig was cruel, and I knew that's how I knew he didn't really care about women because there's no way he should have let her walk around. No, if you want to do blonde, you should go over with Auntie Mary J. Blige. Go to her blonde lady and get it done right because that Party City wig is you are better than that, Miss Janice. Miss Janice, you're better than that. And I only say that because she's rich. Now, if she was a poor person like myself, you can go to Party City and get your wigs all you want. I'm just saying. Where did they stay when their dad was being a nasty man? That's a good question, but it seems really clear that Diddy, from the facts, he did his best to try and hide what was going on from the kids. He did not seem to want them to know what was happening so that he could continue his little crazy antics. Here we go. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm not eyewitness news. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything live. No. There we go. All right. Yeah, ain't nothing else happening over there. Okay. Y'all. So okay. So here's what we got. I just want to sum this up. So what happened so far? This man was doing the pink cocaine. Okay. The pink cocaine was found in the room, the hotel room. They arrested him in last night. When we talk about him not being ready to go to jail, he thought he was about to have a party. The fact that the feds did not allow him to turn himself in said they don't trust him. They're done playing with him, and it's about to be his balls to the wall. Balls to the wall, like they say. They're not about to play with this man. Somebody said Kimura was hanging out with his cybersecurity baby mama. Yeah, baby. Talk about some poor management. PPM. The cybersecurity baby mama loves mama. That little girl. Sir, ma'am, you picked the wrong time to be a baby mama. That's why that's not a good financial strategy. Because what you've walked into is nothing. Okay. You walked into nothing. Now, do I think no. You walked into nothing. And that's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get nothing. The Tessie was in the hotel. I don't know about the Tessie. And now if he created a trust fund, oh shoot, y'all, the trust fund. Now, the trust fund for the older girls might be okay, but the trust fund for the baby, I don't think that baby's 2 years old. That money is going to be all the freaky dicky money. If there was any form of commingling with the freaky dicky money, or if the freaky dicky money was in any way, because remember, the indictment talks about Bad Boy. It talks about all his different entities. That's how he makes his money. If any of that money is in a trust fund, the government, it will make attempts to take the trust fund. You heard me. The government will make attempts to get to the trust fund. Because here's the thing, a trust fund. So we got all these little podcasts coming up telling, build a trust. Generally, awesome. Great idea. But what you cannot use a trust for is to cover up fraud. You cannot use them to commit what's called fraudulent transfers, which is where when some money has been used in a way like you got money from doing something legal or something you're not supposed to, okay? You can't then take that money and put it in a trust and be like, well, now the government can't get me. No, you're going to jail. And they're taking your trust. Now, I hope they didn't take Baby Love's trust, but Miss Cybersecurity, you're going to be poor. You're going to go back to the cubicle, baby. Go on back to the cubicle. Because they taking everything. The feds filed documents, y'all. If you're joining later, the feds filed documents for what's called forfeiture, asset forfeiture. They want civil forfeiture, meaning they want Diddy to forfeit all of the assets. I'm going to go back to that page. Chow. Oh, Tusi is the pink powder. Oh, yeah, they got some Tusi. Is that Tusi is the pink powder? Here we go. They want the asset provision. It says, again, if any of the above forfeitable property, which was real estate, assets, permanent property, or whatever, of the defendant, if it can't be located, if it's been transferred or sold or deposited to a third person, or it's been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, or substantially diminished, or commingled with any other property, they want it. They want to seek forfeiture of it. And it goes on to say, they are seeking any and all interest in securities. That means shares of stock. Any securities, any claims against and/or property or contractual rights, any kind suffering from resources of influence that in any kind affording a source of influence over the enterprise named and described herein, which the defendant established, operated, controlled, conducted, or participated in, and any all property consisting and derived from proceeds. So anything you got that was derived indirectly or directly from any of the offenses discussed. And when they say his businesses, maybe they mean all the businesses. They mean all the enterprises. They talk about Combs Enterprises. They talk about the fact that there was Bad Boy. Let me go back. The Combs Enterprises here. They talk about all the different ones, that there's umbrella companies. And then within those, he's got entities within those. So I see why Diageo and all those others said, get away from us. So we've got, here we go. They listed here towards the bottom. It includes, but is not limited to, Combs Businesses, Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, Combs Global. Combs Global is also a holding company with a bunch of other things inside of it. I believe one of them at one point was Revolt. They're coming for it all. I used to say, I wonder who he has on them tapes. Ooh. I know who I don't think is on those tapes. I don't think it's Farnsworth Bentley. I think Farnsworth got the hell out of there right on time. Got the hell out of there. Oh no. Somebody said he's going to be in jail. Yes. He's not worth a red nickel. Oh, shares in XC, any shares that he has. Maybe when you get to where you're taking people's stock, you are will I go to his trial? Oh, if they'll let me in, I sure will. Y'all want me to go? Hit that like button. And don't mind hitting my little Cash App thingamabob. Hey, Angel. How are you, beautiful? Yeah, here we go. There's my Cash App. It's there. It's Miss Redwine if you want to contribute. Oh, we got 2,500 watching and only 1,000 likes. Let's get that like button. Do I think he'll take a plea deal or take it to trial? Ego. So here's the thing. I love it when you guys ask me strategic types legal questions, right? I love to do the critical thinking, but it also gives me a chance to show that although I'm sitting here with no pants on, I'm actually an intelligent lady. With a plea, it really just is going to depend on what they're offering. For example, if they're offering him 50 years, he's not playing. 50 years is the equivalent of life. He'd be better off to take his chances. Also, what he might do is plead guilty, but then leave. No, I'm not going to say that, because sometimes people will plead but leave it to the judge to determine the sentence if they can't come to an agreement. But I don't see that either. Yes, there were 1,000 bottles of baby oil lotion and lube. Okay, lots of butt stuff was going on there. The coke and the ego. Yes, he's pleading not guilty at this point. That's correct. Gina says, do I think his lawyer will be successful for the appeal tomorrow? Hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. Here's why. Now, today, they simply went before what's called a magistrate judge. That's not the district court judge. Tomorrow, they'll be in front of the district court judge. But it's the same standards. It's the same everything. The law, nothing. The only thing that changes is the judge, right? And the magistrate judge does this all the time. That's the one thing that the magistrate sets bail. So they tend to know what the judge prefers. What does the judge consider? Most importantly here, not just the prosecutor's office is not, I'm sorry, the U.S. Attorney's Office isn't the only one saying no bail. What happened was when they arrested him, they do an interview, not the U.S. Attorney's Office, but there's a different department that does an interview with Diddy and then completes a report to determine whether or not he is a bail risk. You know what they decided? No bail. They recommended he is a bail risk. Do not give him bail. Make him sit his bottom in a jail cell here. Get up in there. Okay. He need to sit in a cell and he said, go nowhere. Okay. Because he cannot be trusted. The fact that after the interview with the so-called independent entity, it's not the U.S. Attorney's Office, but it's another entity within the federal government system that where what they do is they interview defendants and make a determination of whether or not they are a bail risk. They determined he was a risk. That's going to be the problem. And also, if you really think about it, take away the money. Take away the money. If this was a poor person, they wouldn't get no bail. They wouldn't even get $1 million bail. They'd probably get no bail for these accusations. You blew up somebody's car, baby. You blew up the car. Your Fire Marshal Bill over here. This is what you do. You make things disappear. You cannot have those kind of people free in the public. He got to go sit down somewhere. So tomorrow he's going to get more bad news. So tonight he's going to be in protective custody, protecting his booty hole and whatever else he has going on, just like Little Rod was unable to do, like how he tried to, force himself on Little Rod or what have you and put Little Rod in those terrible situations. Horrible, horrible. Now he's going to be in fear for his life. The same fear that he put those victims in. Someone said, Timmy says, who's his lawyer? Kim Jackson said, you are my legal bestie. I love you. Thank you so much, Kim. I'm waiting on the story time about the dude who was 49% gay. Can't wait. You're truly infotainment. Oh, you know what? In honor of Diddy, I do need to do that story time. I'll tell you guys a story of my gay boyfriend. He was one of Diddy's sex workers. Gosh. Let me tell you, when I first started talking about that, sidebar, when I first started talking about this situation, the gay boyfriend, I was introduced to him by his cousin. His cousin DM'd me and was like, who are you talking about? And I said, get off my phone. Because you already know. He just started laughing. I mean, I didn't confirm, that his cousin's like 49% gay. But yeah. There we go. Who is his lawyer? It is, do I think his lawyer is good? Yes. Wondering if it might go in the direction of Young Thug's trial. There's so many things there. Y'all, I'm just still trying to fathom Diddy in a federal prison. Because let me be very clear. They call it a federal detention center. That's a nice word because that's also where they put immigrants, right? So it's a nice word. It's prison. It's like jail. They've got the uniforms. They've got the horrible conditions. The only thing about feds is they have a little more access to programs and educational kinds of things. But he's going to be very alone. He's going to be in protective custody. He's going to be there as long as possible because it's simply not going to be safe. There's going to be so much money on his head for all the terrible things that he's done. Let me tell you. Can we also give Cassie her flowers, please? Let's give Cassie her flowers from the perspective of so many people dogged that girl initially. It's one thing to not believe her at first. But for those people who said she didn't really want justice, she was there for the money. I was screaming from the mountaintops, baby, get you a girl who could do both because she finna do both. She finna do both. Because she simply needed to have the civil case moving to get the attention that was needed for the criminal case. And here's why. I want you to think it from the governmental perspective. Our government is bureaucratic. It's lazy. It moves slow, right? They got it. Those people have enough, crimes on their docket without celebrities coming in and say, hey, let me tell you about this thing that happened to me back in 2009 to 2018, right? If you walk into a prosecutor's office and any of us do that now, sorry guys, I'm not wearing pants. We've discussed this before, but I promise not to get up. I need to stretch. If you walk to any prosecutor's office and you're like, hey, I want to tell you about this thing that happened to me with my ex-boyfriend from 2009 to 2018, what do you think they're going to say? They're going to say, ma'am, get out of here. Get from around me with that. I got something to do. I'm already overworked and underpaid. Get away from me. However, when you take the same case and you were dating a former celebrity and you yourself as a celebrity, and it's a civil case, so it's all over CNN and it's all over the news and all of that, then what happens is the public now looks at the prosecutors and say, y'all let this man do that to her? Y'all let this man do that to her? Y'all not gonna help this lady get some justice? Because baby, when that video came out at the hotel, what were we all saying? We said, California DA's office, what y'all got going on? Come on, where the charges? So much so, we put so much heat on them that the DA's office in Cali came back and said, we can't file charges because the statute of limitations, I think is what they said. Which I was like, they said, no. They were specific. They said they couldn't file assault charges because of the statute of limitations. That's why I was like, what about napping? I can't say it on YouTube. Kidnapping. I was like, what about that? They didn't say anything about that. That's how I knew that there could still be a chance. I said federal, because all the stuff that he was doing was across states. So what I'm saying is she knew. Any lawyer would know. If she came and got a consultation from me and was like, could I, is there anything I could do about these crimes? They're going to say, no, girl, it's too much time, baby girl. No. And even if you were absolutely a victim of these things, the LA DA's office got too much other things to do. But because of how it was handled, the civil took wind. It was all over the news. It made the public care. Once the public cares, it then forces U.S. attorneys' offices and prosecutors' offices to care. So Cassie did get her money. Robin Mullen says Cassie got her money. Cassie got her money. And to be clear, I discussed this in a prior live today. I'm actually, if you go to my playlist, I got a Diddy playlist that I'm running. I got a Basketball Wives playlist. We got a live legal rant and rave playlist. There's a plethora of them. Yeah, it is the background. This is y'all. Well, I'm welcoming Diddy home. Welcome home, Diddy. I'm coming home. Yes, there will be more arrests. There will be more arrests. The judge does not trust him. He cannot be trusted. Look, when the allegations in the indictment are obstructing justice, tampering with witnesses, Diddy called Kalina Harper, the other woman that was in the Dirty Money group with Don Richards, and the other woman mentioned in Don Richards' petition. Diddy called her 54 times prior to her sitting down with the feds, September 14th. 54 times. You think he was just calling her to say good morning? Good morning. Morning. It's not morning after 54 calls. Absolutely not. And then for Diddy to say, he didn't know that this was coming, or that this indictment. No. Correction. They say that they knew that this was coming, but yet you're in a room with illegal substances. No, you're not taking this seriously, and you need to go to jail. I have so much tea to watch while doing my hair. Yes, Lord, you do. Thank you for joining us. Diddy is definitely not taking the rap for anyone. 52 times. Yes, girl. You can rewind. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You have perfect bone structure. Stride 777. Such a psycho. And so keep in mind, he called Kalina September 14th. This is after Dawn filed her civil complaint, but he called Kalina 54 times that day. And this was prior to her having to sit down. He knew that she was going to sit down with feds. Okay. Called her 54 times. And then miraculously, when asked for a comment about Dawn's lawsuit, she says, I'm not familiar with anything. I never saw Diddy do anything like that. So you blind too. Huh? And see, I didn't believe her when she said she never saw anything, because she admitted herself that she's been a victim of DV. How do we know he called her? It was stated in court today. So earlier in the live, if you rewind back, one of the things that I was following is there's this great guy on Twitter. I want to give him his props once more. It is Inner City Press is what he goes by. Let me see if I can put it back on the screen. Inner City Press talked about what Inner City Press did is he's sitting there in the courtroom. I'm going to share the screen again. He was sitting live in the courtroom and he was tweeting summaries of what the attorneys were saying. It's been really, really fascinating. And I'm going to get down to it again just so that you can see it. La, 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 la. Here it was. And all this talk about the plane and all these different things. Here we go. I think I'm going in the wrong order. But basically, he stated that Miss Harper, let's see if I can do a Control F. There it is. There we go. He says, before a September 17th statement by, this is the assistant U.S. attorney is saying this. Before a September 14th statement by Ms. Harper, the defendant called her 54 times in one day. Some of the way in which the defendant contacts witnesses and victims are meant to evade. He uses intermediaries. Absolutely. So this is another example of why they said he's a risk. He obstructs justice when he's not locked up. So lock him up is what they said. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Fitness by Yanni. Oh gosh, you look fit, girl. That's encouraging. UURD. Watch him for the first. Oh, watching for the first time. Ebony from Detroit. Thank you. Ooh, we got a new member. It's Melissa. Wanda said you're the best candidate to go to his trial. Thank you, Wanda. Because if you go back and you look, I did when I was in the courtroom for the Jennifer Williams Christian Gold hearing, where they sent him to jail and then let him go get married and then told him to come on back. So he's coming back any day now, y'all. Oh, he's gonna be back on the 23rd to finish his jail sentence. By the way, if anyone wants to visit him there, I did a reenactment of the courtroom before I was able to upload the actual live stream footage. So yes, I was able to reenact. And KDM Mist says, will they take the kids' trust set up years ago? They could. If they can trace back the trust funds coming from legal sources, especially through this time period. Now that I'm thinking about it, 2009 was around, were they infants? If they're 18 now. Yeah. It would have been the money used to set up the girls' trust funds would have been acquired during the time of these RICO acts. So they could be taken. They could be taken. We will see. Yes. I know that's right. Nisha said it's all dirty money. LOL, she got all the answers. Who is this woman? Who, me? I'm a lawyer. I'm your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. I'm not sure. Yep. Sorry. I don't know. Farnsworth Bentley is, they said, I wonder if the feds are going to pull him out the bushes. We're going to be looking at all the documents as they come about. So absolutely, we'll see what Farnsworth is up to. I know he's living a happy little life with a cute little kids and family and some wholesome, legal profession. So I don't know what he's up to, but I know he's done with all this foolishness. So it says the press is getting ready to talk. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining and tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. This is your girl, your legal bestie, Attorney Simone with Girl, Is That Legal? Thanks for joining.